Hello out there, I am David Miller, Phoenix, Arizona, multimedia artist, photographer, educator. I want to tell you about a series I shot with a different Instax camera than I normally present on this series of Instax model shoots. And this is my Instax SQ10. It is a digital camera, it has an LCD screen, it allows you to preview your images before you print your square Instax. And in the photographic grapevine, I've heard recently Polaroid is suing Fuji for creating an Instax that is so similar to the classic Polaroid square format. It's not really the same, it's a little bit smaller, and you know what, Polaroid, you were bankrupt for a long period of time and you were selling off your ideas to things like Impossible Project, so I don't know why you're so mad at Fuji. But I'm not a legal expert and I don't want to delve too deeply into that. I do want to say, though, that this is one of the few series that I've ever shot on the SQ10 because I have other Instax cameras and the film is typically cheaper, and I'm more used to using my neoclassic Mini 90 than I am the SQ10. I only have so many arms. I mean, I can't carry every camera with me all the time. I think I should do more projects with the SQ10. But let me tell you about the shoot. This is with somebody named Amanda Bird, and she is a working actress and comedian in Los Angeles. I first photographed Amanda way back in 2010. But we kept in touch through social media, and I felt like now that I knew more about Amanda over these years, I had a better idea of what I could do with her than what I shot in 2010. So in 2017, we met up at a beach. She brought some roller skates, and the plan was to just do simple, sort of almost lifestyle type of shooting, but Amanda was going to write a response to the pictures after the shoot. So we walked up and down the boulevard at this, wasn't Santa Monica, I think. We walked up and down the boulevard. I believe this was Venice Beach. I can't actually remember which beach it was, but maybe like an hour's worth of time. She had roller skates that she borrowed from a friend, and you know, there isn't a whole lot of stuff to do at the beach if you're not doing sort of things that involve the water. So, but that was fine. Bought some props from the local vendors. And after an hour, we went and sat at a local Starbucks and she wrote responses to her own photographs. This process was inspired by a photographer who I've long admired, but does completely different work than what I'm presenting here, and his name is Dwayne Michaels. Dwayne Michaels would write on his photographs, he would plan these tableaus, these stories, where, say, Jesus was getting mugged, or like the ghost of an old man was rising out of his bed. I have always found those really fascinating. And whenever I've tried to turn my hand towards writing some kind of imaginative fiction of that nature, things that have a surreal concept to them, I find that I am not that kind of writer. Even though my pictures are kind of weird, not necessarily this set, but a lot of my other photographs have a little bit of a weirdness tinge to them. Expressing myself in words weirdly is not something that I'm trained to do. When I was in high school, I learned to write in journalism class, and when you write journalistically, you're just trying to get to like the straight facts. You aren't trying to be flowery, or you don't get flowery, you don't get surreal or strange. But I will tell you, this year I am reading a lot of Kafka and H.P. Lovecraft, so who knows, maybe in the future I'm able to incorporate some of those ideas on more written Instax. If you are an Instax shooter, I encourage you to do something with that bottom portion of your picture. You have this whole white strip. All it did was contain chemicals to develop your Instax, but it could be so much more. So hopefully I work with other people this year who are also writers and spontaneous, or they feel like they have a story to tell. Even if it's just like documentation of the memory and dates and signatures and things like that, I feel like we should be taking advantage of that white space on our picture to make them more than just the visual image or the visual gag. There always is something extra we can do with our photography, and I feel like we should always push ourselves to incorporate other forms of expression besides the simple visual.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more creative tutorials, gear reviews and video art. Also check out our Patreon for weekly bonus videos and model photography sets.